Could you explain to us what type of content is available across iHeart and what type of audiences can advertisers reach across your platforms?
Yeah. I mean, at our core, we're really all about companionship. That is sort of what our core to our DNA is. That perspective and programming fuels not only the 850 broadcast radio stations, but also our multifaceted digital footprint. So we bring those content experiences really to consumers where they choose to consume it. So that's smart TV, smart devices, streaming, podcasting, broadcast radio. We really have a rich history of frankly producing content and shaping culture. We pride ourselves on diversity of content, diversity of format, diversity of voice, offering a really wide range, frankly, of listening experiences from talk radio, be it news or entertainment or commentary or sports, to music of all different shapes and sizes. We serve urban and rural markets or big markets and small markets through our owned and operated assets. And we deliver that content experience, like I said, however consumers want to actually consume it. I think what gives us a real competitive advantage and a distinctive advantage when talking about audiences is because we have such a multifaceted audio flywheel. We have the ability to deliver audiences across our broadcast radio assets, which reach 9 out of 10 Americans, across our social footprint, which is north of 220 million today, our social graph. We have our digital footprint, which is around 60 million from a ComScore perspective. And we're encroaching upon 30 million uniques in podcasting through our distribution capabilities there. So when you put all those assets together, you can create a pretty phenomenal flywheel for marketers to take advantage of.
Carter, audio is hot, radio has been around forever, but audio is going through this incredible transformation. Tell us what's going on, why that's valuable to advertisers, and how the sector is growing.
Yeah. I think it sort of all boils down to sort of consumer affinity and engagement. I think time and again, if you look at a lot of the neuroscience studies that have been done, they've proven that audio consumption has a very strong relationship with memory, and the information consumers obtain via audio seems to be much longer than it is visually. I think audio triggers sort of emotions, obviously, and memories. It paints mental pictures. And we've seen it really motivates people to action. I think it was Mindshare that did a Neurolab study where they looked at sort of brand stories in a sort of an audio basis versus a visual basis. And the ones that are told audibly elicit 3 times more positive brand associations than the one that do it visually. And when you think about sort of audio ads, I think what's even more unique is if you just go into the podcasting landscape, for instance, is that what's unique about podcasting is that people are really not consuming other mediums or other media while they're listening to audio, which is inconsistent with how they could consume a lot of other medias, to be honest with you. And so you have this really fertile environment for brands to sort of trade on the currency between an audience and a host. And in our particular case, we do 100% host-read ads. So taking advantage of that sort of cachet has really brought to life a lot of the great storytelling that exists in audio. And I think across the board, I mean, audio seems to me to really tap the theater of the mind in what has to be considered the most sophisticated production studio on earth, which is the mind. And so I think there are a lot of people that are leaning into audio because they're realizing the intimacy of the messaging, the personalization of a lot of that messaging, and the ability to really connect with people through their ears and not their eyes, which seem to be very maxed out these days.
So Carter, you've been in the digital space, and a lot of the folks in digital are not that familiar, or they're getting to understand the power of audio through the language of data and targeting and identity. And you have a lot of tools at hand. Explain a little bit about how you can actually make audio targeted to the individual or to the audience, and how that's developing?
Yeah, I mean, so we've spent a lot of time on this over the last couple of years, really trying to leverage first and third party data across, our comprehensive and very distinctive sort of media ecosystem. Um, what we've done is essentially try to empower marketers to think about bringing an audience first approach to our platform, and enabling them to drive targeted mass reach, dynamically and precisely sort of address audiences of need, um, throughout that customer journey, and then help inform sort of custom activations and engagements with their customers. The challenge with data, I think, today is that there's a lot of publishers out there who really can't deliver the audience at scale benefit. And the benefit of us and sort of our multifaceted approach to audience development, is that our audience is so large and so multidimensional that we can really leverage data to pinpoint consumers at scale, no matter how they're consuming their content. So whether that's in broadcasting or in podcasting or in streaming, display, video, even OTT for that matter. And that really provides, I think, a very fertile marketplace for brands to sort of lean into. The other, we really use data, I think, to me in sort of three unique ways. One is just identifying and targeting the customers that people want. I think the second thing is trying to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time. There's been a lot of advancements around dynamic creative, which we've really leaned into, that enables a lot of that capability. And then the last part of that is really, how do you measure success and impact, right? And I think, if you think it may be perhaps the most important thing that data really has enabled is, for us and for partners, it's really helped identify gaps in the planning process for a lot of brands as they think about trying to do an audience first approach. For years, many people were sort of thinking at media in very a siloed way. And I think with data technology developing as fast as it can, we were able to find sort of greater efficiency with much better precision than we've ever been able to do. And we can deliver these audiences, again, across a myriad of touch points.
Which brings me to a related question about how does your streaming audio complement the terrestrial broadcast radio business? And is an overlap? Is there a difference in audience? Are they complementary?
Yeah, I mean, our streaming audio product is really sort of a manifestation of our broadcast radio efforts, right? So we put our live radio stations in the app. We have this artist listening experience where you can actually go and pick an artist or a song, and then we will actually sort of provide a concierge service to your listening experience, all the way up into on-demand listening, right? And the reason why that really matters is that when you think about how people discover music, most of that music discovery actually comes from live experiences. So the ability for a consumer to go from live to artist listening, where they've actually heard a particular song or a particular artist they like, they can input that particular artist or that particular song, and it'll curate sort of a session of listening around that, or go all the way into the on-demand capability and pick that particular song or artist and listen to their new album. It really is a very holistic and comprehensive suite of listening experiences. And it's unlike anybody else. I mean, we're the only one that has sort of all three of those listening things put together. So we sort of are that end-to-end sort of listening experience that, drives people from, the beginning is like, hey, I want to lean in to connect to the world, which is a lot of the live experiences. And then I want to go all the way to on demand, which is really escaping from the world. And so we cover that entire sort of listening continuum.